This video has been sponsored by Paradox Interactive. More on that in a little bit. Alright guys, welcome to Sweden in the brand new DLC for Victoria 3 Charters of Commerce, or as I like to call it, COC. This is the part of the video where you leave an angry comment letting me know just how many times you've already heard that joke before. My general opinions on the DLC are that it is pretty damn good, but I'm not going to be giving my full opinions on it because this is a sponsored video and I don't want my opinions to be mixed with a potential conflict of interest, so that opinion video is going to come in the future. Speaking of that though, this video is sponsored by Paradox Interactive and they wanted you to know that the brand new DLC for Victoria 3 Charters of Commerce is available today. That's right. Now. And if you decide that you want to pick it up for yourself, you can use my link in the pinned comment below. Actually, real talk, if you do want to buy the DLC, please consider using my link. It actually helps me out a lot. I'm not even kidding. However, if you're just looking to try the game out, Victoria 3 will be free to play on Steam from June 19th to the 23rd. So keep an eye out for that if you want to try it out. Again, a thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring this video, and now back to today's video. So, what today's video is about is the new trade system and how to profit from it, because it is a lot of fun to make money off nothing but trade. So, we're playing as Sweden today, and the end goal is to form Scandinavia, which is our little formable nation. You all know it. We gotta grab Denmark and whatnot, but we are going to be profiting off trade. And then just to wrap up our basic stuff, in the technology tab, we're going to grab water tube boilers and railways, and then after that, just move on to all of the society technologies. Government, we're going to reform the government to whatever is the most legitimate and then try to pass landed voting. And we're going to throw down road maintenance decrees in these 4 states, along with resource industry in those same 4 states. This is everything you gotta really do for now, though I am going to start queuing up a lot of logging camps, and that's gonna be for things in the future. So, I said this video was how to profit off trade, and that it is. But first, I need to explain the new trade system in a brief way. So, the old trade system has been reworked into 2 new separate forms of trade. The first one is the most prominent, and that is just the autonomous trade. This is trade that your population will do on its own, basically just trying to pick things that will make them money, and they are conducted with this building right here, which is the trade center. You upgrade these and then your population can do more trade. I find that the main purpose of this is just to get goods into your market that you don't already have access to. So like say if we come over to the buildings tab, say you wanted to move your textile mill and have it use silk instead of the basic fabric. You could do that because the trade centers would start to import silk if it was expensive in your market. Overall, it really just is a quality of life feature in my opinion. This is not what we're worried about today. Instead, we are going to be profiting off the manual trade system which is in the game. So if we go over and right click on any country in the game, there is this new draft treaty button. This is the best thing Victoria 3 has ever added to the game. I absolutely love this feature. So, this is where your old alliances, defensive pact, investment rights, and stuff like that have been shifted to. So you want to get investment rights in someplace like Prussia, you're going to add this, and then you give them investment rights back, and then you can make a deal. Which, overall, is really damn cool, and it's something that I really wish was in the game earlier, but it's here now, so I'm not going to complain about it. Now, what you can also do is do what's called a goods transfer, which is basically just the new trade system. I have the option to export things to this country. So if I were to click on something like grain, I can move this little slider around to send an exact amount of this resource to their market per week. Now, the way this works is that I, as the government, will buy this resource in my market and sell it in the Prussian market, so there's actually a lot of profit to be made here. If I hover over this, I can see that in the Swedish market, the price of wheat is 9 per good, and in the Prussian market, it is 21, so there is some profit to be made here. But I'm going to worry about that later. Here is what I really want to do. If I come over to the market tab and I click on the good wood, you can see the global prices of it everywhere. You can see that in Russia, the price of wood is pretty damn cheap. We got 8s and 10s and 13s, whereas in Western Europe, the prices of wood are a lot more expensive. 25 per good, 29 per good over in Spain. There is a discrepancy here and we can now take advantage of that. So, I want to import wood from Russia and sell it to France. The game now lets you do this. So, I can go over to the draft treaty, do a goods transfer, and take wood from Russia. However, this slider does not slide. And why is that? Well, in the version of the game that I have currently, the amount that you can actually import is dictated based on your demand for wood. So if I hover over this, I can see that in the Swedish market, I actually have a lot more wood than I actually need. I have 936 sell orders and 588 buy orders, which means that I have a balance of 348 extra wood. So the game says, no, you don't need to import wood. But what I will say is that it doesn't matter because I can bypass that. If I come over to France, the place with the expensive wood, and I say, hey, France, you want wood, I've got wood, I'm gonna send you some wood. If I max out this amount of wood and send them as much as I possibly can, so I can add that, offer them an obligation, and they will accept. Send that proposal, unpause the game, and done. Declaration of Stockholm entered into force. And I am now sending 493. And if I do just a little bit of market manipulation to reduce the amount of wood that I actually have, and then go to draft a treaty, goods transfer, I can actually bring in a whopping 1,000 pieces of wood into my market, and they'll just say yes. Now, the reason that they actually say yes is because they actually profit a lot from a deal like this. So I'm just going to add that, and then I'm going to offer them, let's see, no subventions on hardwood, add that. No tariffs on hardwood, they want that, along with basic wood cost as well, and no tariffs there, and they're willing to accept. And I can even throw on a little bit of a money transfer as well. We'll just crank this up until they will guaranteed say yes. There we go. A free 312 money for me. I can set the bound time for 25 years, because if I go above 25 years, there starts to be penalties for their willingness to do so. I don't know why there's none on 25. I don't know if that's going to be changed in the final version or not. But yeah, I like this deal. And another thing that the deals let you do is, well, they let you name them yourself. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this feature. Send the proposal, unpause it, and now Russia is sending all of their wood to me. So if I go ahead and check it in the market, I have a pretty damn big surplus of wood now. Now, here's the part where things start to get fun. So now that I have an absolute ton of wood in my market that Russia is exporting to me, I can make some profit. Now, the price of wood in the Swedish market is currently 5. It is so incredibly cheap right now. So anytime that I send a single piece of wood to the French market, I'm making about 20 pounds in profit. This is damn good. Now, as we export more and more wood to them, obviously these prices are going to change. So to find the absolute best profit point possible, you kind of have to do a little bit of math. Now, I'm not going to go over what that math is, but trust me when I say that the absolute optimal amount of wood to send to France is exactly 430. And when I say exactly, I mean not exactly. I am estimating to get close. So I can add this, give them trade privileges as well, and they will just accept this. Now I'm going to set this to actually 25-year bound time just because, and then I'm going to call this the Sweden money-making plan and send the proposal. And now once I unpause, the effect has gone in, and now, if we actually look at this diplomatic pact, we are making a whopping 9,000, almost 10,000 pounds per week from selling wood to France. And on the downside, it only costs us about 5,000 pounds to actually buy the wood in our own market. So we're making a profit of about 4,000 pounds per week from doing absolutely nothing. We are simply buying cheap wood from Russia, adding it to our own market price, and then selling it to France. And it doesn't even stop there. We can go ahead and do another treaty with Spain and do the exact same thing, because they need wood too. Now, my little math problem is telling me that the optimal amount is probably about 290-ish. But we can simply just keep doing this over and over, exporting our cheap goods into expensive markets. Owe them an obligation. I can even give them, let's see, no subventions. Looks like they don't care about much. What about goods transfer on their side? Do they want to send me anything? You want to send me any coffee? Nah, it's all good. Odds are they'll accept this, so I'm going to, the Spain is giving me free money deal. And they accepted. Now we're making just a little bit more money than we were before, but if you just keep doing this over and over and over, you're going to keep making a lot of money. Now, you remember that little market manipulation I did before? If I undo that and move this over, that's going to make the price of wood cheaper in our market even further. So now, wood being the cost of only 8 is not actually a bad thing because we're just profiting big time. Now, I might have to actually subsidize these to keep them afloat, but look at the difference in diplomatic pacts now. I am making 11,000 off of the difference of the diplomatic pacts. Look at all this. 16,000 in profits, and it only cost me 6,000 to buy it all. This is what I've wanted in Victoria 3 ever since the beginning, just the ability to make smart financial deals like this. And now all we gotta do is just start building up tools, building up more logging camps, and just making the goods in our market cheaper. Now, this also has the added benefit of making our construction goods very, very cheap. Remember, wood is used in construction sectors too, and if our wood is super cheap, it means that we're gonna be able to build and construct things super cheap as well. Now, we have a little bit of expensive tools, so let's see if I can actually manipulate my guys into importing them. So, industrial goods, let's see right here. If I say imports on tools and give them some subventions, that should, in theory, make my traders a little bit more willing to actually import them. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like it's dropping the price just a little bit. Are they actually importing? Let me actually take a look and see trade. Yep, we're importing tools now. That is all we are doing. So, it works. You pay them a little bit of money to import tools, and now we're saving even more money because the cost on these is not as bad. Price going down a little bit. And now I'm just going to start building up construction sectors and getting this economy rolling. Now, it seems as though my people are still wanting to export iron, which is not something that I want them to do. So I'm actually going to raise the tariffs on exporting my iron because I would like to use that iron myself. High tariffs on iron, and that is going to stop them from doing that pretty much altogether. They're going to realize that, hey, this is not profitable. They're going to stop doing that, and that's going to make iron cheaper in my market, which is going to also help me build up my construction sectors faster. We're just taking advantage of price differences in other places. Now, if we want to push this even further, we can also move on to other places like China. Do they have any excess of stuff that they'd love to send us? How about fabric? Would you like to send me some fabric? 280 fabric per week, and they would say yes. Can I do anything that would justify that? Can I send them wood? I can send them like a max of 29, so I'm not going to. What about meat? Ah, we got some meat. So let me punch in the calculations again. Seems as though optimal is somewhere around 24, so why not? I'll just do that. Boop, add that. Doesn't give any acceptance bonuses, but that's all right. I can do no tariffs on tea to get them to accept, along with no subventions on tea. And the taking things from China pact. Oh, I capitalized the A. Taking things from China pact is now proposed. Boom, easy. And now that should, in theory, fix my market price on fabric. Yeah, fabric is now much cheaper than it used to be. Extra 280, that means that my construction is a lot cheaper, at least on fabric. Gonna need some more iron, that's alright, and some more tools, but we can just keep scaling over and over and over. And now here's where the automatic trade system comes in. So, iron mines, I have the new atmospheric engine pump, but I haven't built any coal yet. That's fine, I can just go ahead and switch over, come over to my market, say, hey, I want coal into my market, I'll give you subventions if you bring it in, and then high tariffs on exports, and that should cause them to trade for some. And yeah, pretty much immediately they start importing coal. So it's just little manipulations like that. It looks like the UI is just a little bit bugged out right now. I'm not too worried about that. More construction sectors. We've already increased our GDP by, seems like about $1 million? $1.5 million, something like that in the first 4 years. And we're just gonna keep going with it. We're gonna keep snowballing the economy big time. And here we go, another deal. Britain's willing to send me coal and fabric if I give them investment rights, so absolutely gonna do that. It benefits them, it benefits me, because I just get free coal into my market, and they get to sell their cheap coal in my expensive coal market. Mutually beneficial for everyone, and the GDP continues to grow. We're in top 20 GDP in the world now, which I don't think is too far from where we started, but it is climbing pretty damn quick. At this point, we're just doing nothing but big economic buildup. Our tooling workshops are so incredibly productive right now. Look at their cost for wood. It's nothing, and that doesn't even matter. Our wood camps don't need to be profitable because they're profitable because we're exporting stuff. It just works so well. Then there's the water tube boiler, so we've got even more efficient methods. We can be big exporter of iron. More coal, more iron. I would do sulfur, but I don't have any local sulfur mines. Water tube boiler here. Start being efficient with our people. Use coal for this. We have the most productive tooling workshop in the world right now from all of our trade deals with wood. Oh, this is awesome. Standard of living continues to go up. We're number 7 in the world on that, and we're building with 75 construction in 1843, and we're already maxed out on money. So I'm gonna keep expanding it. Let's go 15 trade centers. Sorry, not trade centers, construction centers, and see if we can still withhold that. See if we can get away with shifting over to steel at this point. We've got our steel mill, and there's railways done, so we can also go ahead and start boosting the infrastructure in everything. Let's queue up one of those in everywhere. Because I'm not gonna lie, we are very, very soon to be out of peasants to get new jobs with, and we're gonna have to use our population very, very efficiently. We're at 6 million GDP. We have tripled our GDP in the first 10 years of the game. Actually, it's not even the first 10 years of the game yet, so we still got room to grow. All right, 10 years into the game, we are at a casual 7.5 million GDP already. We're also the number 3 producer of wood in the world, number 5 producer of tools in the world, and we are competing with Prussia for the most production of iron in the entire world, chilling at a solid number 2 spot ahead of the United States of America. 10 years into the game as Sweden with a population of 2 million. 41st in the world for population, and we have a top 15 GDP. All thanks to our ability to just set up solid trade deals. And we're not even done there. We still got way more to do. Standard of living is starting to climb. We're at a solid 13.3 on the standard of living charts thus far. GDP took a little bit of a hit because it changed over a few production methods, which aren't 100% ready to go yet. Mainly trying to use transportation on all this. That should get fixed here in just a second. I think it's time to throw down another little negotiation trade deal. Looks like I've got a lot of acceptance on this, so let's see if I can squeeze some money out of them. Ooh, 6,000 pounds per week, question mark? I think the answer might be yes. 82% chance. Nah, I want this to pass. Give me 5750. Perfect. Right on the dot. The more money for me treaty. I love it. I love it so much. Extra money coming on in. More profit from diplomatic packs. 8 million GDP and a standard of living of almost 14. Like I say, the only problem we're beginning to run into is that we're pretty low on peasants. Everyone has good jobs at this point. Not everyone, but we're getting close to everyone. We've shot up to the number 2 in GDP per capita, only behind Schwarzburg, and we just got pharmaceuticals, which means it's time for public health insurance. Give me that. We're gonna get our standard of living to the number 1 spot, make Sweden incredibly strong, 9 million GDP, number 14 in the world. We're like 4 million behind the Japanese shogunate, who has, well, how many people do they have? Oh yeah, 33 million, and we're competing with them with almost 3 million. I want to draw a little bit of attention to the percentage of my population that is a loyalist right now. We're looking at a solid 1 in every 4 people as loyalist. The approval buffs from all of that are, as you can see, quite good. And there we have it. Number 1 standard of living in the world. Nope, never mind. Number 2. All right. I see how it is, game. Don't worry, we will be solidly number 1 here in a moment. You can't stop it. Nothing can stop it at this point. We are scaling too hard, too fast with the power of trade. And there's public health insurance. Time to invest in that all the way, moving up in the world. 100%. Number 1 standard of living is mine. Take that, Russian-American company, and give me the 10 million. Give me the 10 million GDP. Give it to me. Ah, we're so close. It dropped off when I did that. Awesome. Thank you, game. Love you. Standard of living is actually shooting up quite a lot now. 15.4 for the average person in Sweden. Still number 2 in GDP per capita, and actually getting up to a top 10 GDP in the world is, I don't know if it's possible this early on with a population this size. Needless to say, we are punching well above our weight class right now. The only thing we really need at this point are more people, which is where I'm going to show you something else that this update has changed. So, you remember power blocks, right? You remember how all these things used to be really good except for one that kinda sucked? Well, the religious convocation now has an added 5% birth rate, which is actually really good. So I'm gonna be snatching that up. And yeah, just another fitting name. Give me this one on the right. We can form this power block. We'll damage relations with some people, but I'm not worried about it. Give me that increased birth rate, now up to almost 2% gain, which is really strong considering we also get it in our little subject Norway, and it looks like one of our treaties is not working. Oh, it's this one, the France one, because I offer them power block embassy. I'm not too worried about that because it just means that they're not sending me my free money anymore. That is fine. I've got plenty of my own free money to go around, thank you. Standard of living now up to 16.5 in 1854 for the average person, which is a little bit insane. I'm not gonna lie. That is really good numbers this early on. We have 396 radicals. A third of our population is a loyalist. A third. A solid 1 in every 3 people are so incredibly loyal to the regime that, yeah, they give us some, really, really good approval bonuses. We are, however, unfortunately completely out of peasants, and, yeah, there's not a lot we can do if we don't have any more workers until we, find a way to get more workers, which is why we're trying to increase the birth rate so much. Down to 197 radicals. There are 300 again. 380 people who are radical in the entire country. This is a win. This is such a nice dub on my part. You are welcome. Thank you, me. Very cool. How do we look on population numbers in the whole world? Next one we pass is the Papal State. Damn, we doubled their standard of living. That is awesome. That is so cool. Oh, we're about to pass Spain in GDP. What's Spain? Spain's got 14 million. We're on par with a country with 6 times our population. Sorry, no, I did the math wrong. It's like 5 times our population, but you get the point. I never claimed to be good at math or this game. They want wealth voting passed. Well, might as well try, I guess. Boop. Wealth voting, let's do it. Given the fact that I no longer have room in my own country, I'm gonna see if I can snatch up some investment rights in other countries. Goods transfer. What do you want, Russia? You want some tools? I can send you some tools. Let me do my little math calculation first. Beep boop pop, beep boop pop pop, beep boop pop. Sources indicate I should send 100. Thank you, sources. You're welcome. I was my own sources. Ooh, they want to send me fabric? Absolutely, give me that free fabric. Yes, 100% yes. Give me liquor. Let me get drunk. 100%. Anything else you want to send me? Grain? I'll take free grain. Why not? Let's see. We still need more stuff. I'm already doing that and that. Ooh, no subventions on liquor and no tariffs on liquor. I can do that, sir. 75% chance. I'd like to get a little bit more than that, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. What more stuff do you want? You want some iron, my guy? Would you like some iron? I know you would like yourself some iron. I can send you people pop pop beep boop pop 292. Okay, that's probably enough. Let's see. Let's call this the build in Russia thing, cuz that's what I'm going to be doing. They declined it, bro. You can't do that. We had a good thing going. It doesn't save my treaty. Dang it. All right, we'll go get deals with China instead. Hello, China. Would you like to let me build in you? I would love it if I could do that. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff you want. Okay, merchant marines, I really don't need those. I will give you as many of those as you want. You want tariffs? No tariffs? No tariffs on that? No tariffs on liquor? Okay, I can do that. No tariffs on fabric? Absolutely, I'll give you an obligation. Do this for 25 years. No subventions on dye and no subventions on fabric either. And then I will take as much fabric as you are possibly willing to give me. That'll do another one. How about tea? Give me some tea. I'd love to take your tea. How about dyes? Give me the dye. Grain? Yes. Give me liquor. That'll work. Okay. We're at plus 17. Anything else I could do? Do you want anything else? Wood? No, iron. What do you want for iron? There we go. Perfect deal. Completely done with a bajillion little things in it. Send that proposal. Entered into force, and we got a new achievement, Wall of Text, which you basically get for just making a giant-ass treaty. That's fine. I can build in China now, or more specifically, my private sector can, because there's nothing left to build in Sweden. Go get it, guys. I believe in you. Ooh, number 12 GDP in the world, 13.4. We're barely behind the Japanese shogunate, who I will remind you has 10 times the population we do. And yep, they have immediately taken to building in China. That works. It's gonna help get my standard of living even higher than it already is. I'm number 2 now? Who's number 1? The Maldives? Where even are the Maldives? Are you the Maldives? You're the Maldives. How do you have such high standard of living? Bro, you have a GDP per capita of 1. What are you doing that I'm not? Must just have a lot of cheap stuff. That's fine. That's a fake country. Don't exist. I gotta be the number 1. It's not fair. But we are number 1 GDP per capita, 4.09. That is sick. Love to see that. Can I get investment rights in Brazil, perchance? Is that a thing that's gonna work? Looks like they want some goods transferred. I can give you no tariffs on coffee, no subventions on coffee either. I can give you an obligation, hit that for 25 years, and then anything else that you want, just coffee. Okay, let me get some good transfers. I'll take your dye. You can sell it in my country, and then I will take your tea as well. Nope, not that much tea, just this much tea. And the coffee that you so desperately want to sell me. And I think that works. Another one for the history books. Get that done, and I can build in even more people now. Standard of living will go up big time. Same with the population. Standard of living continues to go up. We're now at a solid 18.3, and the Maldives fell off. They're now 13. Get out of my game, bro. 18.3 standard of living in 1858 is actually wild. My lower strata are 16. My lower strata would be the #1 standard of living in the world. That is how strong what we are doing is. Legitimately, all of my private construction is just going to foreign countries at this point, which I guess works. It makes my population very, very standard of living-esque, but yeah, I can't really do anything with this. The GDP won't go up anymore because there's nobody left to work. We gotta birth more people. All right, well, we are just about done with pan-nationalism, which means we'll be able to form Scandinavia here in just a second. Standard of living is at 19.4 at the moment, which is just a little bit above second place, which is Norway. So, yeah, you can... I just keep reiterating how strong this is, but then you just look at, like, second place is my subject. That's actually kind of hilarious. Yeah, GDP is 13, #1 in GDP per capita. We are a great power now, and by kind of a lot. All I'm really trying to do at this point is just get Denmark on good relations with me, because they're still cautious of me, just a little bit. They are amicable relations, natural enemy, and allied. Yeah, so that's a thing. All right, pan-nationalism is done. Denmark does not want to support me just yet. We're going to give them a little bit of time to change their mind on things. And in the meantime, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. All right, I snatched up Denmark into my power block, which means we can very likely form Scandinavia now. Standard of living starts to drop off as we're starting to actually pour more people into the country. Their population growth is pretty strong, so just the average standard of living goes down. That's just kind of how that goes. Our investors are still getting very, very rich. #1 GDP per capita, like say, it's going down just because the per capita, you know, the people is going up. But yeah, let's hit the Scandinavia button, shall we? I could launch it. Who would this launch against? Finland. Huh. I'm going to make the bold assessment that a single Russia would show up, so we're just going to do the normal form Scandinavia, glorious union, 25 prestige, and now we've got 23 million GDP. GDP per capita is 6.39. Mainly just because this hasn't updated yet, but I'm gonna pretend like that's what actually happened. There we go, 7 million population. The actual GDP per capita didn't shoot up to 6. I wish it did, that'd be really, really funny. But yeah, I'm loving the new update. If you want to get your hands on it, it is available now. And that is going to conclude how to get rich off trade in Charters of Commerce. Goodbye.